everyone! How are you guys? So today I'm taking a break from my Yes Style collab, unboxing and try on hauls. Instead today, just what the title suggests, I'll be sharing with you guys our pregnancy journey. Yes! We're pregnant! Yay! So if you have watched my previous video about infertility, you'll know about our struggles. So today I will be sharing with you our road to success. Actually, I'm still torn about announcing this pregnancy kasi I think it's still early and takot ako na mawala pa siya. So previously kasi I had 2 episodes of bleeding or spotting. So the first one was around 5 weeks and we had to go to the ER and I was hospitalized overnight. So at that time, the doctors were concerned that it's an ectopic pregnancy kasi hindi pa ako na-ultrasound. My first ultrasound was due at 6 weeks and that's to check the viability of the fetus. So nung nag-bleed ako ng 5 weeks, I had to be hospitalized to check na hindi siya ectopic pregnancy. Sa ultrasound, there's already a gestational sac and yolk sac pero wala pang fetal pole, so it's still early. So I was discharged and was just advised to rest and take a break. So the second episode of bleeding was around 9 weeks. Medyo mas lighter siya so hindi ako masyadong nataranta, but I had to go to the GP and I had an urgent ultrasound. So thankfully in the ultrasound, normal naman si baby, okay pa ang kanyang fetal heart rate. So I was just advised to take some rest. So medyo challenging yung first trimester ko kasi kami lang dalawa ni hubby dito and he's working from home. We also have a puppy na sobrang kulit na kailangan entertainin at i-train. But thankfully, until now, hindi na nasundan yung bleeding episodes and my last ultrasound was normal. But on the other hand, gusto ko rin ipagsigawan sa mundo na buntis ako kasi diba ang tagal namin hinintay ito at wala na sigurong mas may pa na mag-pregnancy announcement kaysa sa mga katulad kong nag-struggle with infertility at dumaan sa butas sa tusok ng karayom. So ayun, we've waited until my first trimester is over to announce that we are pregnant! So going back to where we started, hubby and I have been a couple for 12 years. We got married in March 2015 and then after we got married, we moved to Australia to study here. So when we moved here, we are on student visa so hindi namin inisip yung pagbe-baby kasi we are struggling with our living expenses, pangbayad ng tuition. So sobrang busy kami and stressed so hindi namin naisip na bakit hindi kami nabubuntis even though we're not using any control. Kasi hectic naman talaga yung schedule and ayun, baliwala lang yun. Hindi namin naisip na mahihirapan pala kami. So in 2017, my husband graduated from his course and we were on graduate visa so we can both work full-time. We both have steady jobs and wala na kaming binabayarang tuition. So at that time, we were thinking na maybe it's time. We thought na we're ready if we're gonna have a baby. So in December 2017, I quit from being a permanent employee to being a casual part-time employee. Kasi I was working as a specialized dementia carer in a dementia unit in an aged care facility. So the job was physically, emotionally, and mentally exhausting. Kasi we thought na maybe if I have a little break, then maybe it can help us conceive, but it did not. In May 2018, I was able to get an office job, and although it was full-time, it wasn't as physically demanding. So at that time, we were still positive that we will be able to conceive. By the end of 2018, we were already consulting with our GP regarding infertility. So, nag-order na siya ng blood tests, hormones, ultrasounds, and sperm analysis for hubby. He also started me on metformin because it can help with PCOS and infertility. By 2019, and after finishing 2 boxes or around 200 tablets ng metformin, still to no avail, we were referred to a fertility specialist. So on my first specialist visit noong July 16, 2019, the specialist ordered AMH and blood test for hubby. Then I went back on September 13 to discuss the results and everything was normal. So the doctor ordered tubal patency test or HICOC which was done on September 23 and napakasakit niya. Tulo ang luha ko talaga. So I went back on September 25 to discuss my results and there was a polyp seen, so I was referred to surgery. So on November 8, 2019, I had hysteroscopy with polyp removal. After my surgery, I went back on January 21, 2020 to discuss the results of the surgery, and also at this time, I was prescribed to start ovulation induction. So I was prescribed letrozole, which is a drug primarily used to treat breast cancer, but it is also used to induce ovulation. In January 2020, I resigned from my job to remove further stressors. In late 2019 kasi, we already moved to our own house, and it is a bit far from where I work, so I had to commute 2 hours to get to work. So we wanted to optimize our chances and thought na commuting can add to the stress. So we were thinking na if I wanted to go back to work, then maybe I can find work somewhere locally na hindi masyadong malayo ang commute. So from February to June 2020, I was on ovulation induction, and pabalik-balik ako sa hospital to do blood test and ultrasounds, which is transvaginal ultrasound pa. So sometimes it's twice a month kasi minomonitor yung pag-mature ng follicles ko. So, sabi ko nga ilang tao pa ba ang kailangan kong bukakaan bago ako mabuntis? Lucky are those na isang beses lang bumukaka, pag ginusto nila, buntis agad. So, I was closely monitored by ultrasound and ovulation kit, but still nothing worked. So, after my third failed round of letrozole, I was already qualified to go ahead with either artificial insemination or IVF. But I opted for IVF kasi kung gagastos rin naman ako, gusto ko yung mas mataas na yung chances, yung sure na. However, that time, because of COVID, nagkaroon ng restrictions dito sa Melbourne. So, limited na lang yung patients na ina-accommodate nila for IVF. So, I had to call every month to check if they can accommodate me. So, we were able to submit all our requirements and documents for IVF in July. So from August, September, October, November, I've been calling them tuwing first day of period ko, but still they can't accommodate me. Luckily, in December, na-lift yung restrictions and they can finally accommodate me. So I started my IVF treatment in December 2020. So I started my IVF stimulation cycle in December 2020, and I had my first embryo transfer, which is a fresh transfer, on December 26, 2020, which failed. After that, I had my second embryo transfer, which is a frozen transfer, on March 2, 2021, which also failed. And then on April 2, we had our last frozen embryo transferred, which is now 14 weeks. Yay! So for all those time last year, I've put my life on hold. Gusto ko sana mag-aral, gusto ko din magtrabaho, but I was waiting for this to happen muna kasi nga tumatanda na. And COVID complicated everything pa, so medyo na-delay. But I believe that God has a plan and His timing is perfect, and that when it rains, it pours. So katulad na nangyari sa amin this year, March 23, we celebrated our 6th anniversary. And then on March 28, we were able to get a puppy na last year pa din namin plan. On April 1st, I celebrated my birthday. And then on April 2nd, during my IVF transfer, my IVF doctor hoped that he would give me the best present that I could get. And he did. On April 7, we had our citizenship test and we passed. And on April 13, we got the news that we were pregnant. So it's really amazing how God works in our life. Sometimes we think na He has forgotten about us, but what we don't know is that He's just busy preparing everything for us. And He knows what's best. So all of those struggles, you'll be able to overcome those if you just put your trust in Him. So I'm sharing this good news especially to those people who are struggling with infertility. Hindi para mainggit kayo. Of course, that's the list of what I wanted to do. But I want to inspire you to not give up. You know, there are times that we get tired, but we can always take a rest and then we can start again. Don't quit. So that's it guys. So on my next video, I'll be able to share with you my IVF experience. So nandun yung paano ako nag-i-inject ng gamot, ano yung mga gamot na tinake ko, and maybe I can mention the cost. Thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you on my next video.